ay, 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 ay. Well, I need a tiny tripod for my cell phone, I guess, to record in the car, so I'm sorry. But right now we're in the woods, guys, and basically to get to the places I like to shoot, I always have to walk a lot, so I'm kind of tired now, but I think it's gonna be worth it. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to make the shoot, but it's going to be someplace around here. Actually, I think that tree looks really cool, so we're going to use that place to make the shoot. This is a 50mm lens, so I'm not going to get all of the frame, so I'm going to make 3 pictures. I'm going to make the first one with me there, and then another 2 pictures, and then I'm going to put that all together in Photoshop. So I'm going to try right now with my remote, and the first thing I'm going to do is to make the focus on me, and then I'm going to move there and change to manual focus. So now I have to mark here. This is the bellows stuffing that I've always used to all my pictures. And actually this is the same one that I used to the first video, and I'm going to take this all out. So I think I have the picture. I just need to take some other pictures of the bellows stuffing in case we need to add that on the sides. I already took the other pictures of this side and the other side, and we're done. Now we need to go back to the house and start editing with Photoshop. Don't you wish we could rewind some of our days just like that? It would be so much fun. Anyway, we're back home, I have my tea, I saw all the pictures and chose one to edit. I feel ready, you're ready, let's go. Okay, I took around 20 pictures, but this is the one I chose to edit. I already have the picture, I created the artwork, but I have here all the layers that I used, and I'm going to show you each and every single one of them. But I'm going to be focusing on explaining to you how I made this cloud effect and how you can also make a realistic cloud in your pictures. The first thing I did was to change the tones and the contrast with the filter camera raw, and I'm going to zoom this so you can see it. I wanted to give this picture a magical and dreamy vibe, so I used the liquify tool to make my ears like an elf, and that's how it looks. Then I hit some pimples using the healing brush. Then I made more brighter the parts where I want the viewer to focus, and I did that creating a new layer and then added some brightness and contrast. We're going to add on each side another picture so we can have more information about the woods. So I'm going to make those layers visible. This is the right side, and here we have the left side. Then I made some dodge and burn, and basically I don't know if I can call it like that because I just used the brush tool to make some parts of the face lighter. And of course I changed the color of my shirt to blue. Now we can start working on the cloud. This is on all bellows stuffing and it's getting little by every time I use it. So we need to make this area of the bellows stuffing bigger so it can look more like a cloud. And I'm going to show you how I did it. First, I'm going to make visible the layer with the change And I'm going to show you how I did that. I selected the original layer, and with the marquee tool, I selected the part of the cloud I wanted to make bigger. I copied that layer, I used warp, and just slowly started to stretch all the areas so it will look round and bigger than before. And then we have another problem with this pillow stuffing, and it's this part over here. It doesn't look very cloudy. Clouds have shadows, but not that much texture. I'm going to first show you what we need to do. I'm going to make this layer visible. Basically, I'm just using the brush tool to paint on this area so it looks more soft and more like a cloud. I'm going to do that again. So I use the brush tool, and with the eyedropper tool, I abstracted this part and just started painting with the brush tool, like this. And we're done. Now I can delete this, and I'm going to make visible the original one. So basically we're already done with the pillow stuffing, but now we need to add more clouds. I want this picture to have clouds almost in all the frame, and I'm going to show you in a bit how I did it. Now we need to make visible all these adjustment layers that I used. These are more brightness. This one is of hue and saturation to make the skin tone look more natural. And with this brightness and contrast, I'm just trying to make the face and the upper side of the cloud pop. And with this one, it's the opposite, to make all the rest a little darker. So now I'm going to show you how I added the clouds around the subject. This time I didn't use pictures of the pillow stuffing because I honestly forgot to shoot them in the woods. But I used two pictures that I found on the internet with clouds. Something you really need to pay attention to is the light to add these clouds. And the light is coming from this place, and if you can see, this cloud has the light coming from here. So to use it in our picture, we need to flip it horizontally so the light matches. That is going to help you make a realistic look. Maybe you don't understand why it doesn't look real, but your brain always knows. And our job as creators is to make our brains believe what we are creating. And I'm going to start making visible all these clouds. This is the first one I did. And we need to blend this better. I'm going to do that in a bit. I'm going to show you. First, I started with this other cloud to make it less visible. And then you can see that it's really bright and it doesn't look natural. So with this adjustment layer, I just made it a bit darker. Then I added another cloud here, and it's really transparent, so I duplicated 3 times. But again, it's really bright, so with an adjustment layer, I just made it darker. Then I copied this part and made another layer here. And now we need to blend this pillow stuffing so you can see where it ends. And for that, I just made a new layer and used the brush tool with a white color to hide it. And we're almost done. Now, this is the last picture of a cloud that I added. And that's it. Basically, that's all the work you need to do to create a realistic cloud in Photoshop. Now, I have another things that I have to fix. For example, here, you can see that it's darker than it should, but I didn't notice that when I was editing till almost finishing here. This is the layer where I fixed it. I'm going to make that visible now. See the cloud and how it changes. And basically what I did is I created this new brightness and contrast layer. I made it brighter. Then I inverted from white to black, so it's not visible anymore. And with the brush tool, selecting the white color, I started painting the places I wanted to make brighter. I'm going to zoom this a little bit. And you can see how it changes and it looks way better than before. I'm going to hide this and make visible the original one. Okay, this cloud looks way better. And now I have to show you all the other things that I did to finish this piece. There are a lot of adjustment layers. I make adjustment layers almost in every step of the process. I'm really messy, as I said before. And this is something that I can show you, and it's interesting. Even with a blurry background, this one is really noisy and we don't want the viewer's eye to get lost on this. So what I did is I created a fake mist, and this is how I did it. I just created a new layer, and with the brush tool and a white color or light color, I started painting these parts of the background, trying not to get on top of these branches. And well, I did that, but to look more natural, it has to be more irregular. That's why I created this mask, and I'm going to show you how I did it. And I'm going to make a new mask holding Alt, and now it's black and it's not visible. Then we're going to filter, render, and difference clouds. And this is going to create some kind of mist effect, and that is going to help us to get this a little more irregular. Now, I repeated that several times. To repeat the last filter you applied, you just have to hold Alt, Control F, or Command if you have a Mac. And I'm going to do that like 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And that's exactly how you can create a mist effect and try to soften the background so the viewer can easily see what we need. In this case, is the subject and the cloud. And oh, this is also interesting. I made maybe some kind of Dutch and burn to this tree and these branches over here, and you can see here the difference. I just used the brush tool, I started painting again, and then I changed the blending mode to overlay. And you can see the difference right now. Then I make the corners darker, and then there are a lot of other adjustments. I'm just going to make those visible so you can see how it changes. Then I added the butterflies and some more adjustment layers to finish the piece. Again, I'm going to make those visible so you can see slowly the difference. And now we're done. Now we have our realistic cloud picture, and I actually really like this one. Now I'm going to show you the before, because I always do this when I finish a piece. I think it's so much fun. So this is the before, and this is the after. Before and after. I hope this helps you to create your own cloud pictures, and please, if you do, I can't wait to see them. Just tag me on Instagram and I will be seeing and maybe commenting some of your pictures. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content related to photography and my surreal artworks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm sure I'm going to see you very soon in another video.